What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big Ten channel. Going to give you some early thoughts on the Northwestern Wildcats, a team that really surprised last year, finished tied for second in the Big Ten West, went 8-5, and really it was out of nowhere. You know, they fired Pat Fitzgerald, and they were coming off of a terrible season. The expectations for this team. Now, if you go back and you watch my videos from last year, if you go back to this time, I actually thought Northwestern had a chance to be maybe a bowl team, not 8-5, but maybe a bowl team. And then it was after they fired Pat Fitzgerald. That's when I really thought, this team may struggle to win more than 2 or 3 games. But give them credit, they were able to do it. They found their coach, and the future looks somewhat bright. I mean, it is still Northwestern. It's a tough place to recruit. We're going to start with the offensive side and give you some initial thoughts here. So Ben Bryant will be gone. And if I say anything that's not correct, you guys can let me know down in the comments. Again, it's very hard to find information on some of these players. You can Google search and you find nothing. So I have to kind of go by my eligibility on my rosters. But anyways, Ben Bryant, I assume, is going to be gone. The eligibility is up, so they likely will lean on Brendan Sullivan at quarterback, who has played. And they also have, I've got Ryan Helinski's eligibility up, but I saw somewhere that maybe he was coming back. So again, it's very confusing. It's a lot easier once those 2024 rosters actually come out. But anyways, Brendan Sullivan should be their starting quarterback, a guy who has played and has shown some capabilities of being a pretty solid quarterback. So we'll see what he can do. You look at the running back situation. Cam Porter should be back, so running backs look good. Joseph Hillman, who played last year as well, they should be pretty good at running back. You look at the receivers, they're going to miss Cam Johnson. He was really solid for them last year, but A.J. Henning will be back, and I can confirm that. Bryce Kurtz, I believe, should be back as well. So this offense really returns a lot of players. You look at tight end, they lose their top 2 tight ends, but on the offensive line, they don't lose a whole lot there. Josh Preeb is gone. He was a great player, but other than that, they don't lose a whole lot. Zachary Franks, he's going to be gone. So you lose a couple of starters there through the transfer portal, but overall, offensive line should be pretty solid. So this should be a similar offense, in my opinion. I don't think you're going to have a big drop-off at quarterback. I don't think that, you're going to miss a few guys there, but they should be pretty good again on offense, pretty solid as they were last year. So I'm expecting more of the same from Northwestern on that side of the ball. Now we go to the defensive side, and they really have a lot of guys coming back. Looking at my roster, I didn't see anyone on the defensive line that is going to be gone. They should have every single player back on the defensive line, unless I missed somebody going to the NFL early or something like that. But a defensive line, it wasn't great last year, but you've got a lot of guys back. Veterans should be back there on the defensive line, and that's going to be a strength. They'll miss Bryce Gallagher at linebacker. Now, he was really, really good. Special player for them, and so that's a guy you've got to replace. But Xander Mueller will be back at linebacker, and he's a really good player as well. Who's going to step up at that position? That'll kind of be the question mark there. And then you go to the secondary. Really don't lose a whole lot at this spot either. Garnett Hollis, a cornerback, he went into the transfer portal. Rod Hurd at safety, he's gone. That's a pretty big loss, but they've got should have Azima back at safety, really good player. Devin Turner back at safety. A cornerback position is somewhere they need to get a little bit more production out of. They need to be a little bit better at that position. Theron Johnson will be back, but they need some help there. So that's an area I'm watching. But again, yes, you lose Bryce Gallagher, who's a great linebacker, but everyone else almost is going to be back. Most of the production going to be coming back on defense. So this should be a better defense. And so you look overall at this team, a defense that should be better, an offense that should be about the same. This one's a little bit tricky because I think that the competition's just going to be so much tougher with the new teams coming in and some teams that were down last year that I think will be better this year. So I'm going to say Northwestern will be about the same, and maybe they're a little bit better team, but I really think they overperformed last year. And if they go 8-4 this year with the new Big Ten and everything, and not getting to play all the teams in the Big Ten West that were awful last year, if they go 8-4, that is a huge success in my opinion, or 7-5, whatever. So getting to a bowl game, I think is still a solid season for Northwestern. So the record might be a little bit worse just because of the competition, but I think the team overall should be good again, about how they were last year. So I'll say overall about the same from Northwestern. Can they overperform again? Can they maybe go 8-4, 9-3. We'll see. What are your thoughts on this team? Well, let me know down in the comments below.